Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters.
You won. Nah. During a live sit-down that quickly went viral, Terence Crawford was asked the ultimate legacy question, the one no elite fighter can avoid. If you faced Floyd Mayweather at his absolute peak, what would happen? Bud didn't hesitate. He leaned forward, flashed a grin, and made a bold statement. He said he would handle Floyd even more convincingly than he handled Errol Spence. From that instant, the boxing world erupted. Podcasts went into overdrive, Twitter debates spiraled, and sports shows couldn't stop breaking it down. Then the bigger question emerged: has Crawford officially entered all-time great territory? After defeating Canelo Alvarez, becoming undisputed in 3 weight classes, and staying perfect through 42 professional fights, this doesn't sound like empty bravado. It sounds like confidence built on achievement. And the wildest part? There's a legitimate argument that he might actually be right.
So he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
View 2.
Come on now.
Floyd Mayweather built his legacy on defense, pinpoint accuracy, and impeccable timing. Terence Crawford, by contrast, has built his reign on risk, aggression, and complete control. He doesn't just edge out opponents on the scorecards, he breaks them down. From Sean Porter to Errol Spence to Canelo Alvarez, those who've stepped into the ring with Bud have often left exposed and diminished. So when Crawford said he would have handled Floyd even more convincingly than Spence, it wasn't simple trash talk. It reflected his entire philosophy toward the sport. Floyd fought to protect what he had already established. Crawford fights to expand the boundaries of greatness itself. That contrast is the real dividing line. Floyd represented calculation, every matchup carefully selected, perfectly timed, and strategically aligned. You can call it elite planning. But for years, critics and even fellow fighters have used a less flattering term: cherry-picking.
Situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division.
Get them all.
Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter, then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship, and then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight but knew what had just happened.
Even Max Kellerman once put it this way: Floyd Mayweather's resume is filled with big names, but many believe it was carefully curated. Terence Crawford's list may be shorter, yet it's seen as unfiltered, uncompromising, and built around taking on the toughest challenges available at the time.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference.
That contrast matters to fans, and it sits at the heart of this debate. Floyd Mayweather mastered dominance through control, controlling distance, controlling his opponents, and even controlling the timing of each fight. Terence Crawford comes from a different mindset. He's not focused on carefully managing outcomes. He's driven by one thing: complete takeover.
It's better
Interview 5.
Crawford or Mayweather.
think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Look at how he went straight after Errol Spence Jr. for years. The fight was treated like a fantasy, buried under boxing politics and stalled negotiations. Terence Crawford didn't sit back waiting for the perfect payday or flawless contract terms. He pushed for the fight, stepped into the ring, and systematically broke Spence down round by round. Then came the move many called reckless, jumping up 2 weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez. Critics labeled it career suicide, arguing that Bud was too small and outmatched. But once the bell rang, the narrative changed. Crawford handled the power, neutralized the size difference, and dictated the action for all 12 rounds from start to finish.
Reaction to Terence, what he did, that's another crazy thing, right?
No, that's not crazy. No, I say it's not crazy because I predicted. I said Canelo was going to get old in the ring that night. No disrespect to Crawford. He did a good. Crawford could have stopped him. He could have. Me being a coach and watching how the fight was going on, he could have stopped him. And I know he's saying it in his mind, but he was being humble of Canelo. He was being humble, and it was a great fight, and it was good talk for the boxing world. And that's what it's all about, to entertain, to get us something to look at. We've been entertained like this for years, for centuries, of gladiators and stuff, going in the ring, representing their fans.
6. That's not selective matchmaking. That's walking straight into the fire to prove you can't be burned. And this is where the debate truly intensifies. Many longtime boxing loyalists, especially those who grew up during Floyd Mayweather's era, are finding it hard to process what's unfolding. Because Terence Crawford isn't just stacking victories. He's redefining what greatness looks like right in front of the sport's eyes.
Get a lot of
Interview 7.
Too, but honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather. Because of going up, you didn't see Mayweather go up from 147 to 168. That's crazy, bro. And honestly, I thought Crawford was gonna have more of a hard time because he had a hard time with Madronov. So imagine going up to it. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't want to take nothing away from Mayweather. Mayweather's the greatest of all time. But I think that was a really big risk that Crawford took, and then he ended up winning. You know what I mean? So you have to give credit to that too. That's a big risk. That'd be like me going up and fighting Usyk right now, heavyweight.
I know that's been kind of hinted.
I'm not thinking of that right now. I'm not thinking of that right now. No, but that's kind of like how that'd be. You know what I mean? So you have to, bro. That's a lot of. He has a lot of balls to do that. And not only to go do that to show the world that he's really like that.
7. Fighters and trainers from different generations have said it openly. Shane Mosley, Andre Ward, and even Calvin Ford have all acknowledged the same thing. Terence Crawford is different. His undefeated record isn't built on avoiding danger. It stands because he consistently runs toward the toughest challenges, not away from them.
They were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15, easily, There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. It's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks, But the punching, the output that he was giving Canelo, definitely gave him the win.
That's why when Terence Crawford said he could stop Floyd Mayweather more convincingly than he stopped Spence, it didn't come off as simple arrogance. It sounded like confidence grounded in evidence, confidence backed by what he's already proven inside the ring.
Before the the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest of all time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red. Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course.
Q9. Floyd Mayweather was undeniably a defensive mastermind. But Terence Crawford is often described as the complete package. He can switch stances seamlessly, counter with precision, apply constant pressure, control distance, and adjust in real time, as well as anyone in the sport today. Floyd dominated through discipline and calculation. Crawford dominates through versatility and adaptability. And this is where things became even more intriguing. After that fiery interview went viral, the boxing world split. Some analysts rushed to defend Floyd, arguing that no one could equal his ring IQ and control, or saying both fighters simply ruled their own eras. Yet others, even a few of Floyd's former opponents, seemed to quietly agree with Bud's confidence.
Is he ranked now?
Interviewed
all time. Ending this interview.
Number one, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's this generation guy. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight, that's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd generation to this generation didn't get to see it come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on.
Q10. And that's what makes this debate so compelling. Floyd Mayweather walked away undefeated, his legacy sealed in perfection. Meanwhile, Crawford is carving his own path as a three-time undisputed champion. So here's the real question. Who's truly greater, Prime Floyd Mayweather or Prime Terence Crawford? Who takes control when they meet in the ring? The defensive mastermind or the relentless, adaptive force? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe to Fight Field for more deep boxing breakdowns. I'll see you in the next one.